It is Friday, the 19th of July, 2024. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. Well, it's been a few weeks since I did my Oops All Boy Genius week, so I'm back to talk about another Boy Genius song. I figure it's been long enough that I can, it's not oversaturation. I really strongly considered talking about this song for Boy Genius week because it's such a good song, but the songs I picked very intentionally. So we're getting around to it now. We're not even 3 months into this yet. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, God, we're not even 3 months into it yet. We're going to have the 100th episode in a few weeks. That's wild. I mean, what's this? The 70, or this would be the 80-somethingth episode? Anyway, so you already know the deal with Boy Genius. Supergroup of Julianne Baker, Phoebe Bridgers, and Lucy Dacus. They released an EP and then did their solo stuff and then came back and released a record last year called The Record, not confusing at all. And it's a really good fucking album. And we already talked about Letter to an Old Poet, which is the closing track from the album. But today we're talking about Not Strong Enough, which was one of the singles and is kind of a lot of people's highlight of the album, which I understand. I mean, it's such a good song. They performed it live, of course, on the tour. They performed it on various talk shows and whatnot. There's a great music video. I recommend it if you're going to be listening to the song. Well, you are going to be listening to the song now, but I recommend it if you can to watch it. I don't think I need to give any more preface. You already know who Boy Genius are. Let's just get into the song. So let's listen to it now and then come back in a few minutes and talk about it. I'm sure, I don't know if I've talked about it on this show. I certainly will going forward, but you gotta love a song with upbeat music and real downbeat lyrics. This is not a happy song. And the music video too is so joyous, but yeah, it sure ain't happy. I mean, musically, it's your standard kind of rock, indie, pop, folky sort of sound. The kind of thing you would expect from Boy Genius, and it works very well. A bit of synthesizer as well, particularly in the bridge, the kind of like kind of arpeggiated thing going on there. Yeah, the bridge we got to talk about because it's so good. But I'll talk about it when we get to the when we talk about the lyrics. I do want to talk about the music video first, though, to get it out of the way. Filmed all around LA County. Like I said, very cheerful. I mean, if you watched it just now, you know. It's just like the three of them hanging out, doing fun shit, you know, dancing, walking down a pier, going to like an amusement park and an arcade, you know, riding a roller coaster, practicing baseball in a batting cage, crazy golf. All sorts of shit. It just really shows how close they all are, you know, how bonded they are, how much of a true love situation it feels like, how much these people were meant to be. We're meant to be. I mean, the sentence ends there. It makes me really happy. I remember when it first came out, it just made me so happy watching it. Before I even like processed the vocals and the lyrics, I was grinning ear to ear because it's just so nice to watch people have fun. They look like they're having a fucking whale of a time. It's great. I particularly enjoy, there's a bit where they go to a museum and the camera's like panning across these like different busts of whoever. And between each bust, the members are standing and the camera has to dip a bit for Julianne because she's fucking tiny. If ever you didn't realize that Julianne was tiny, this video will fucking show you that she's tiny. The camera dipping for her there. She swings so hard in the batting cage that she falls over. Like, it's great. I just always think of, I think I said this in one of the Julianne Baker episodes from Boy Genius Week, but when I saw her live at Forbidden Fruit and it was really windy and she kept making jokes about how she was going to blow away in the wind. I also really enjoy in this video, like most of it, like I said, is just them all hanging out, presumably in one day in these various places in LA. But during the bridge, when it goes into the kind of the drums pick up and always an angel, never a god, it turns into like a montage of clips from this day and other clips that without context you wouldn't necessarily know what they are, but now having watched Boy Genius the film, there's a lot of clips that are from the making of Boy Genius the film. Now, Boy Genius the film, if you're unaware, is a short film that is essentially 3 music videos from this album tied together. It's directed by Kristen Stewart, because of course it was. And it's great. It was the first 3 singles that were dropped back in January 2023, I want to say. $20, True Blue, and Emily, I'm Sorry. Not in that order. It's $20, Emily, I'm Sorry, and then True Blue, with little segments in between of them in like different beds, humming to themselves and it raining, and at the end it shows them all in bed together. And it's like in this video for Not Strong Enough, you see flashes of them in bed together. You see the monster truck rally that's in the video for Emily, I'm Sorry. It all happened so quickly just now. I wasn't paying I didn't stop and pause it, like, but there's probably clips from $20. Oh, there was a clip from True Blue because there was Lucy and someone else with their arms covered in blue paint, which is from the True Blue video. Anyway, I think it's a really interesting detail to put in there to kind of show the process of making this album and making the music videos, making the film. It's a really cool little additional detail there. So let's talk about the song itself. I have a quote here from Phoebe Bridgers, which I can totally hear in her voice, but I'm not going to do an impression of her. So this is the quote. "The two wolves inside us can be self-hatred and self-aggrandizing. Being like, I'm not strong enough to show up for you. I can't be the partner that you want me to be. But also being like, I'm too fucked up. I'm unknowable in some deep way. Self-hatred is a god complex sometimes where you think you're the most fucked up person who's ever lived. Straight up, you're not. And it can make people behave really selfishly. And I love each of our interpretations of that concept." So there's the quote about the song, and yeah, I mean that's what it's about. It's about someone who's like can see where the issues lie in their relationship and their own behavior in their relationship, but they just can't bring themselves to change it. The title, actually, I didn't know this because I don't listen to Sheryl Crow, but the title is actually a reference to the song Strong Enough by Sheryl Crow, which has the recurring line of, are you strong enough to be my man, right? And so this is like the response thing of not strong enough to be your man. Now, of course, that referencing like the whole gender bendy thing of them being called boy genius as commentary, right? So let's go through the lyrics. I love how the song is segmented into the different singers. This is actually a great song to introduce someone to the band because each singer has a different section of the song. So, first verse, Phoebe Bridgers. "Black hole opened in the kitchen. Every clock's a different time. It would only take the energy to fix it. I don't know why I am the way I am. Not strong enough to be your man. I tried. I can't stop staring at the ceiling fan and spinning out about things that haven't happened. Breathing in and out." Black hole opened in the kitchen. Every clock's a different time. Black holes distort time. So it's referencing that, right? And she says it would only take the energy to fix it. Like, she can't be bothered to get up and change the clock and fix it. And that's kind of showing that thing that I said about not being willing to fix something, right? And then, I don't know why I am the way I am, not strong enough to be your man. Like, I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Just because they're not able to change this, they don't deserve the other person, right? I can't stop staring at the ceiling fan, spinning out about things that haven't happened. A classic anxiety sort of thing. Worrying about imaginary scenarios and then following it up with breathing in and out, it feels like a panic attack, right? I love me and my dog. Then you get the Julianne Baker verse. "Drag racing through the canyon, singing Boys Don't Cry. Do you see us getting scraped up off the pavement? I don't know why I am the way I am. Not strong enough to be your man. I lied. I am. Just lowering your expectations. Half a mind that keeps the other second guessing. Close my eyes and count." So this idea of driving through the canyon and then do you see us getting scraped off the pavement is like the intrusive thought, what's the word? Call of the void, kind of immediately imagining no, it's not call of the void. I think it is just intrusive thoughts. The thing of like immediately imagining a worst case scenario, right? The idea of you're driving along content and then you suddenly imagine yourself crashing so hard that you have to be scraped up off the pavement, like it's putting that anxiety of thinking that it's going to fail and you're going to die. The fact that they're singing Boys Don't Cry is interesting to me. Great song by The Cure, of course, but also the name of a movie about Brandon Tina, a trans person who was murdered. And so again, kind of tying into the gender bendy nature of the boy genius and the not strong enough to be your man, and they're talking about boys don't cry. It's interesting the way it all kind of ties into this idea of gender in a song that isn't really about that, but all their songs are kind of about that as well. And then I like how, so this becomes not strong enough to be your man, I lied, I am, just lowering your expectations. The self-contradictory thing of having no self-esteem and also thinking you're the greatest, having this god complex. It's this thing that happens with mental health sometimes where you kind of have this, you overcompensate for having no confidence by having undeserved confidence, even though you actually hate yourself, So it's an interesting illustration of that, And then we get the bridge, and this is the key bit. Always an angel, never a god, repeated 12 times. First by just Lucy Dacus, then by Lucy Dacus and Phoebe Bridgers, then by all three. I love the build-up of this. I love songs that are repetitive in this way. They repeat something with little changes as they go. We'll talk about that with other songs, certainly. But how it's always an angel, never a god, and the lyrics don't change, but as the other singers come in, they harmonize, and then the drums come in, and the drums get louder, and they're all going, always an angel, never a god, like they're really belting it out, and it ends with the scream of, always an angel. Like, I love the way the vocals progress and get higher and harmonize and get weird. Like, it's so good. And the way, I love the drumming in this song. Who did the drumming in this album, actually? Was it Marshall Vore? Wow, I really thought Genius would tell me who did the drumming on this song. He usually does. Mike Mogus was involved, and Rob Moose. Nice. It just says performance. That's not helpful. Wait, didn't J Solom do the fucking drums in this song or some shit? Melina Duterte, assistant performance. Maybe she did like guitar. I mean, that makes sense. She's a guitarist. Well, she's a multi-instrument. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The drumming in this song is really good. And I really like it, but particularly the bit in the, I mean, the bridge sounds great. It's so good. But also when it drops out in the last, always in it, and then comes back in with a, so good. And then we get the last chorus with, I don't know why I am the way I am. There's something in the static. I think I've been having revelations. Coming to in the front seat, nearly empty, skip the exit to our old street and go home alone. So you've got this thing of coming to in the front seat. So like waking up in the front seat of a car, nearly empty, nearly out of petrol, gas. Skip the exit to our old street and go home. So they go home sooner than they thought because they're nearly out of petrol. And then it ends with go home alone. Man, I love this song. I love the music of it. I love the way the three vocalists come together. They have their own part, but then they all come together at the end. I love the video. It's so good. I love this whole song. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I have to say. Thank you so much for listening. Please go ahead and give me a like, give me a subscription, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your foes, tell whoever the fuck you want. Give me a share, I guess is a thing. Add me to a playlist. I don't remember what else I say in the outro. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.
So you're driving, and then you imagine... Jesus Christ, that moth just flew directly into my glasses lens. Oh, now he's on my microphone cable. I mean, you can hang out there if you're not going to disturb the sound quality, buddy. The moth is steadily climbing up towards the microphone. It's kind of funny. And then we get the last chorus. I don't know why I am. Really? Again? I love this whole song. And I hope... And I love you, too. So when I tell you that I love you, don't test my love. Accept my love. Don't test my love. What a weird thing to reference in this episode. I replayed Assassin's Creed, so the song Jerusalem is of course stuck in my head. I've already recorded the outro, but I just wanted to point out that the moth is still, in fact, on my microphone cable. And when I put down my microphone now, he will probably fly away. Goodbye, moth.